I'm here with Bethel Park TV, Commit to be Fit, and we are doing goat yoga. Woo! You heard me correct. Goat yoga. What is goat yoga? It's yoga with goats. We are today at Potential Farms, and we have with us Miss Rainey and Miss Jen, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the programs that they offer here. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
And good morning, goats. Talk to me a little bit about the goat yoga program that you have here.
Well, we are Namaste Goat Yoga of Pittsburgh, and we've been doing this about 4 years. We're going to celebrate our 4-year anniversary in October. We're so excited.
Yeah.
And we offer several goat yogas throughout the year. These are public events outdoors in this beautiful field. And a lot of people say exactly what you said. What is goat yoga? It is yoga outdoors with goats. Wandering around doing their goat thing as we do our yoga thing. And what's unique about our goat yoga is that we usually pick a charity, and we've gone through all the major shelters and a lot of rescue groups because we're both animal lovers. So, and we donate a portion of our proceeds from each event to those charities.
That's wonderful. And you say the goats roam around while you're doing yoga. Do the goats stand on you during yoga?
Some of them are more affectionate and social than others. They don't jump on you. I don't want people to think that they're going to be attacked by our goats.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them will snuggle up to you. That's very nice. And we can stage pictures with them standing on your back after class.
Right.
We have done that. You've seen those pictures.
Yeah.
But they don't jump normally on people.
Right. So the photo ops are taken after class. Yeah, that makes for a nice little souvenir.
Yes.
Yes.
People
Almost every class piece of handsome young man out there, he will choose somebody's mat and lay down on it and hang out with them.
He's our snuggler.
Yes, but they, what we do for class to help the goats interact with people and our guests, everyone here is very friendly, first of all. But what we do as people enter the yoga field, we hand them a few saltine crackers, and then people come in and choose their favorite goat and feed it to them, and that helps people become comfortable with the animals, and the animals start kicking in and going, okay, this is goat yoga, I know what's happening today. And that just starts the interaction. So then the goats will walk around and sniff people's bags and let everyone pet them, and it's fun. It's really great.
It is really fun.
And then Jen will calmly start class, and everyone stretches a little bit and warms up, and then they start their poses. And at that time, since I'm the shepherdess and my son is also a shepherd, we help the goats mingle between the guests while they're practicing. So.
Yes. And all the goats seem to be very, very friendly and docile. So if you're afraid of animals, you don't have to worry here, because you don't even have to be close to the goats if you don't want to be, but the goats, will approach you. And the age of the goats that participate in the goat yoga?
The oldest goat that participates with our goat yoga is 5 years old, down to 1 year old.
Now, would that be considered a baby or a toddler goat?
No, we consider a 1-year-old goat like a teenager.
I see.
So, Potential Farm got its name after I found the land and knew that I knew a few years ago that I wanted to raise animals because I was going through a change of life, and I knew that that would be healthy and good for me and my family. And so I started looking around for land, and when I found this vista, I knew that this was going to be a great place to raise our goats and raise our herd. And just coming up here all the time, and it was raw land. So this land had so much potential. And we just kept saying that over and over again, and it was like, I love that name because it's part of the experience I want people to have up here with our yoga, the possibilities.
That's right.
The potential for good things to happen.
That's right. And it's a chance for you as a beginner, intermediate, advanced yoga student or a layperson off the street to come and find your own potential. inside and out here at Potential Farms. Maybe a goat can help you on that journey to find your own potential. Who knows? That goat will certainly find you once you come here. Let's talk a little bit about the charity work that you do.
Well, since we're both animal lovers, we have decided to donate a portion of the proceeds from each of our events, from the ticket proceeds, to different animal charities like the big shelters, Animal Friends, Hope Haven Farm Sanctuary, the Humane Society, down to the smaller rescues too. So this year we did the Beagle Rescue, the Pug Rescue, and we did Animal Friends again. So we always want to give back because it's such a great event, and part of a yogic lifestyle is to volunteer and to support.
That's right, because we are earthy people.
Definitely.
Earthy people. And you've raised more than $10,000 for charity.
Right, we've donated over $10,000 over the past 4 years to all these different charities.
That's incredible.
They haven't all been animal charities. We took the goats to the South Side last year, and this year too, and we gave to the Friends of the South Side Park. So again, supporting the environment, supporting the earth, very much in our wheelhouse, definitely.
And people can find out more about the events that you do through your website.
We are on Facebook and on Instagram. Namaste, Goat Yoga Pittsburgh. Rainey's the creative one. She came up with that name, Namaste.
I love it.
Hay.
I love it. Hey, I love it. And as far as future events go, I understand that you always do an Autumn Fest at Seven Springs, but it's been canceled this year. So moving forward in future years, if people are looking for something fun to do in autumn, they can either come see you guys here at Potential Farms or perhaps at Seven Springs.
Definitely.
And it's beautiful up there.
It really is.
They put us up near Lake Tahoe, and it's I love it up there because it's mountainous, right? And goats and mountains just kind of have a history, so that's kind of fun too.
Well, this is exceptionally beautiful here.
Thank
This is, you should be very, very proud of this. I mean, this is picturesque and gorgeous. And if anyone at home is looking, we all found maybe an unsettling in our life. I think we need to get back to that focus, and we need to find the peace in our hearts again, and we need to get back a little bit to ourselves and one with nature. And what better place to do that than here at Potential Farms? Can you picture yourself doing goat yoga on this beautiful landscape? It's just stunning. Let's talk a little bit about your mantra, which is on your bandana, which is on your shirt. What is the mantra here?
Breathe, bleat, relax, repeat.
I love it. I love it.
So we breathe, we do yoga.
Yes.
The goats bleat,
Yes.
as they are demonstrating.
Yes.
We relax at the very end under this beautiful sky, on this beautiful hillside, and we repeat. People come back to our events.
And you do private events, you do public events, you do one-on-one and group settings.
The private events have been really fun because we've done birthday parties, bachelorette parties, bridal parties. In fact, we had ideas this year to do a whole bridal-themed goat yoga just for brides and their groups of friends.
We were going to have a brunch with it, a bridal brunch. And
Next
yeah.
year.
Yes, we will have it. And what about our fun event we're thinking about for that's coming up?
Oh, pygmy picnic.
Yes, we're going to have a pygmy picnic.
What is a pygmy picnic?
Well, some of the goats are pygmy goats, right? They're smaller sized.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll have a goat yoga, and we'll invite people to bring a picnic basket or picnic blanket and have a little snack afterwards while they admire the goats. And we may have some adult beverages for sale. So, yeah.
And how did you guys come to meet?
Well, when I started purchasing my herd and we were settling in up here, family and friends started sending me clips of, check this out. There's this thing called goat yoga happening out in California. You got to look into this. And of course I did. I had to look into this. So I researched it a little bit, and then Jen and I found each other through mutual friends. And Jen she has a really great following and a lovely reputation as an instructor. And she also had already been working with humane animal charities to help them raise money. So we talked about meeting up here, and she brought a few friends, and we had a practice goat yoga.
I was initially very nervous because I had worked with dogs. I'd done doga before, yoga with your dog.
That's the first I heard of that.
I had done bunny yoga at Animal Friends. We do bunny yoga inside, of course, with all the shelter bunnies running around.
That's great fun.
But
I've gone to
goats,
that.
I was like, I don't know goats. I don't know anything about goats. So I did this practice one. I had a number of my best yoga students and my other yoga teacher friends. I'm like, guys, I don't know what to expect. Let's just try it out and get some feedback. I was afraid the goats would bump into us, knock us over. I thought they would chew on our mats, chew on our clothes. So it was just a test run, and it was wonderful. It was lots of fun. And we learned how to work with the space. And ever since then, we've been doing it for 4 years now.
4 years this month. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm all
It's
about
been so
girl
much fun.
power and women in their own business. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your background with yoga, the fitness industry, so on and so forth.
Sure. So my brand is Jen's Yoga Zen, and I've been teaching for about 15 years. But I had grown a following, as Rainey said. I teach at Duquesne. I taught at many of the local gyms and the Ys and different studios. So I had kind of grown this following, and it kind of naturally morphed into taking my yoga outside, because I think there's something really healing, really nurturing about connecting with the earth and being surrounded by nature, the breeze, the sun, just being able to breathe and calm down, right? So this just kind of fit in very nicely. I was so glad that we met.
And I love your shirts. I love your spirit. And I understand that goats can see purple, green, and blue, which is why I wore the green and blue. Did that influence the colors for your shirts? You probably had that planned all along. Sure. Sure.
We'll go with that.
And they have difficult seeing red. And also, goats have a 340-degree vision. So that means that if I'm behind a goat, they can see what it is that I'm doing. Does that distract them at all when we're doing yoga, or they just simply don't mind?
That's a good question, and I love that you shared the part about what they can see, because at the beginning of class, I share goat facts while our guests are getting comfortable and set up on their mats. And we always talk about their eyes, because everyone wonders why they have rectangular pupils. So yes, goats don't really have a self-defense other than being a herd animal and sticking together. So when they're grazing, they need to be able to see to take off if they see the predator. Well, what you see them doing also today, they'll do it during class, I'm sure you'll see. But goats need to headbutt. None of our goats headbutt people or are aggressive with people, but they do need to do it with each other because they need a hierarchy to feel comfortable in their herd. So they occasionally just let each other know, hey, I'm above you, or hey, I'm not. Because again, in the wild, or even in our herd, it's a matriarchal society. So there's a queen. So our Queen Cypress, she's a lovely, wonderful queen. She's a gentle boss. She doesn't have to be tough all the time. But anyway, for their survival, the goats follow the queen. And so for them to feel safe and comfortable, they need the hierarchy, just so they know we're taking care
Where
of.
their place in society is.
Right. So if you see the headbutting, it's either playing or they are saying, hey, that's my cracker, or that's my...
How old is the queen?
Ooh, she is 6.
I see.
And she is a nice big girl. She weighs about 180 pounds. Since you're talking about healing right now and what's happening in our world, like another thing that I know Jen and I love is the therapeutic part about being with animals.
Definitely.
And goats are so playful to begin with. It's just, it's very therapeutic. But when you come to a Namaste Goat Yoga, you definitely get a real yoga class, even though it's not high pressure to be.
Right. I always say it's not a super serious yoga class, because I know there are some people that honestly, I have to subjugate my ego. I know they're here for the goats. I love when there are children in the field and, they're not super serious about the poses they're doing. All they want to hear is the goat laugh, the goats making their noises, and they laugh back at them, and it's really very sweet. So yeah, it's not super serious, high pressure yoga. You have to do the poses perfectly. Not that by any means. It's just about the whole experience of therapy. Yeah.
Right. Unless you're really there for a really great yoga class, you still get that. Like we see people doing handstands and all, whatever.
Headstands, yeah.
Right. Whatever. Sorry.
No,
yes,
both.
Headstands. But the goats are a fun therapy part of it. Because
Definitely.
they bring joy to it.
That's exactly right.
And right now, during COVID times, Namaste is practicing safety measures.
Like everyone, we had to implement, different measures. We now do contactless check-in, which I love, because before we had people signing waivers.
Right.
Now it's touchless. Just check your name off the list. And we're doing social distancing, of course. We've reduced the number of tickets we're selling just to give
Right.
that distancing. So we are,
6 feet apart.
yes, we
Yes,
have a
in
volunteer
class.
measure people 6
We
feet
do.
apart.
We have a big measuring stick, and we use that. And if you come as a family, of course you can stay together.
Right.
But we separate guests.
Yeah.
And people wear their masks until we begin to practice.
And what is the age? Is it too young, too old? Who is goat yoga for?
No one's too old, that's for
Okay.
sure. We had one family bring grandma, and grandma sat in a chair like this, and the rest of the people had their mats down, and she just watched the goats and hung out with her family.
Wonderful.
We do say kids no younger than 4, because if we had some really little ones in the field, and they get disruptive, and they're
Right.
running around, or they're fussing.
Right.
So kids age 4 to 10 are free with an adult ticket.
Oh, okay.
So that's a
Yes.
really nice thing, and we love to see kids, but under 4, probably not a good idea.
So if somebody was looking into taking a goat yoga class, how would they go about signing up or registering? Online?
Well, we sell our tickets through Eventbrite,
Mm-hmm.
and we usually sell them about 2 months before the event itself.
And we have the Eventbrite links on our Facebook page.
Yes.
And there is a page dedicated to Namaste Goat Yoga at the website I use for our goatscaping, which is haveyouheard.com.
Do you offer any other services other than the goat yoga?
Yes, the reason that I purchased the farm and started raising goats was so that I could get into the goatscaping business, which is landscaping in a green way, good for our environment, using goats to eat your poison ivy and your undesired brush. And it's really, that also is a joyful business. I should be the happiest woman in the world because the 2 things I'm involved with outside of my family life are with goats. So what people do is they rent my herd to come in and clear out their undesired brush.
So let me get this straight. So I can call you.
Yes.
You'll bring a wagon train of goats over to my house, and they will get rid of my poison ivy.
Well, first, yes, but first what we ask is that you have a 1/4 of an acre or more of
I see.
of the bad stuff that you don't want, the invasives. That's what we call them. And I'll come and take a look and talk to you about what you want. The first question I ask everyone is, have you used weed-killing chemicals in the past 2 years? Because my goats cannot graze where that has been. But any place that's clear of that, I'll give you an estimate, and then we come in, my family and I come in, and we set up the electric fence that keeps the goats safe while they're there working for you. And then the next day we deliver the goats.
That's unbelievable. How many goats does it take to, we'll say, get rid of a 1/4 acre of brush?
Well, typically we look at things in 1/2 acre, so what I would say is it takes 10 to 12 goats to clear a 1/2 acre in a week, week and a half. But our absolute favorite jobs are the private backyards because, again, it brings joy to people. You wake up and you have your cup of coffee and you look out your back window and there's goats in your backyard. And they come with an instruction manual, so you know how to turn the fence off and on.
Stop it. Just stop
And you
it.
know everybody's name. There's a picture of everybody's name. with
Like a
their
little
name.
biopic of each one?
Yes.
With their name, personality, and oh my God.
And then I come and visit the site every few days. And the reason we use the electric fence, the goats know that it shocks them, so they don't keep bumping up against it. They stay safely inside it. The fence is really there to protect them from predators.
And how long do they stay to get rid of the brush?
It all depends on
Days,
how
weeks?
dense,
Oh my.
and what you'd like.
I want goat landscaping. I want goat yoga in my life. This is something that I need to have. Let's make it happen, ladies. What do you say?
All right,
All
Let's
right.
yoga size.
So the first thing I tell people when they come to goat yoga is to bring their outdoor yoga mat because the goats walk all over it. We are outdoors in the field. Sometimes it's a little bit wet. So if you're coming to our Namaste, please bring your outdoor yoga mat or a towel. Some people bring a towel to practice on, and that's fine too. And I'm fully aware that the goats are the stars of the show. And they'll do this. They'll get in your face. Some of them may wander off and then come back to you. But they all have their own personalities, as Rainey said, and they do their own thing. See?
And during class, at some point, we bring some sweet feet over and set it in front of your mat. And that will help you
I love it.
start petting and playing.
And getting comfortable with the surroundings and the goats and ready to yoga size. There's that head button. Go ahead, Miss Jen.
All right, so I usually start people out either seated or standing. So what would you like to do today?
A little of each.
Okay, definitely. So just come to a comfortable seat, whether that's crisscross applesauce or lotus pose, if you know lotus pose. All right, so just close your eyes down. And I fully am aware this is a very distracted yoga class. How could you not be distracted when that goat's in your face and they're making their noises? So just take a moment to be here, totally present, feel the air temperature, be aware of the sounds of nature around us. And maybe you have some intention you want to explore for goat yoga today. Maybe you just want to be outside with goats. That's okay too. And with your next inhale, let's sweep the arms up to the sky. Look up. Draw the hands down to your heart center. Remember that our mantra here at Namaste Goat Yoga is breathe, bleat, relax, repeat. Breath is number one in our practice, so we'll breathe this whole time nice and deep, in and out through your nose. Take another big breath through your nose and exhale through the nose. Then make your way to hands and knees. So I like to do a lot of animal named poses in our goat yoga class, starting with cat-cow. So spread your fingers nice and wide and inhale, look forward. Exhale, pull the navel in for cat pose.
Oh, I love this pose.
Right,
It
it's a
feels
great
so
back
good. It's a nice
stretch.
I'm relaxed. I'm at peace with the goats.
Inhale, look forward for cow pose. And then exhale, again, arch up into cat pose. We'll do one more of those with your breath, just going back and forth. And then with your next inhale, come back to neutral spine, curl your toes under, and we'll go into our first downward facing goatie.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So hips up,
Downward facing goat coming
downward
up.
facing goatie coming up. Go ahead and wiggle around. Bend your goatie knees, shift your weight around, just wake up your legs. There's a good bleat. With your next inhale, let's step the right foot forward and come into Warrior One. So if you don't know Warrior One, you're just taking up a lot of space on your mat. Right foot forward. Ow, you might get stepped on. You stepped right on my foot. Ah! And bend your right knee, reach up. This is our Warrior One. Take another big inhale here and exhale, hands down. Let's step back into our downward facing goatie. Such a great pose to get some traction on your neck and to stretch your back. Wiggle, pedal, shake your head out, let everything roll off of you, no stress, no worries. Then let's take our Warrior One to the other side. So step your left foot forward, big step, and rise up, reach up as your feet root down into the earth. Stepping on my foot again. Inhale, palms touch, look at the sky. And exhale, hands down, step back to downward facing goatie. Let's inhale, pull forward to plank. This is the hardest thing we do in goat yoga. And then lower all the way down to the grass. Pull your heart forward, baby cobra. Look forward. Exhale, release. Again, cobra, pull your heart forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, up and back to child's pose. So I'd like to remind everyone in goat yoga, please take care of yourself. You can always come back to child's pose and rest here. Or you can look forward and pet a goat. Whatever's close to you. They just do their thing, as you see.
This is the absolute best. This is the best day of my life. Sorry to my husband. This is the best day of my life.
So I like to get people up and doing some balancing poses because it's a little more challenging when you're on the grass to balance. So let's come to stand up. We're outside on this beautiful mountaintop. We have to do tree pose.
Yes.
We're surrounded by these beautiful trees. So root down into your right foot. And when we try to balance, you should focus your eyes on something that's not going to move. So not a goat. not a tree that's going to blow around in the breeze. So focus your eyes on something that's not going to move and pick up your left leg and then open it out to the side for our tree pose. It's okay to fall out of your tree. It's okay to get knocked over by a goat. If you want to grow your tree branches, take your arms up to the sky. And let's come back to center and release. And we have to try the other side, so shake it out. Shake out your feet. And then root down into your left foot, or whichever one you didn't do yet. Pick up your right leg, open it out to the side, tree pose. One more big inhale, grow super tall. Maybe grow your branches if you want. We always end with Namaste Shavasana, so it's the best part of class. Shavasana is complete relaxation. And again, the volunteers move the goats around as we're moving through our poses, but for relaxation, I encourage everyone just to let it go. So come down onto your back, and then hug your knees into your chest. Head a goat along the way if you like. So we end with just complete relaxation. So lay on your back. And if you're doing relaxation in a yoga studio, you would lay here for a few minutes. Maybe the instructor has a beautiful singing bowl or a crystal bell that they gently play to encourage you to relax even more.
Or nature sound of crickets.
We got plenty of nature sounds, that's for sure. But what we also have here on Potential Farm is a little cowbell. So when you hear the cowbell, that's how you know when relaxation is over. Take 5 deep breaths here, feeling the earth underneath your mat. And then gently roll over onto one side into a little comfortable fetal position there. Maybe you'll see a goat staring you in the face. Indeed. And then help yourself come up to a comfortable seat. We always end with gratitude. So bring the hands to heart center. Bow to yourself. Bow to all of nature around you. We bow to each other. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Miss Jen. Thank you, Miss Rainey. From all of us here at Namaste Goat Yoga of Pittsburgh, thank you so much, Miss Rainey. Thank you so much, Miss Jen. Calliope says, have you heard of goat yoga yet? You have now through Bethel Park TV. Amy Taylor, Commit to Be Fit. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Someone wants to come up on her back.
Oh, well, except it's backwards.
Yeah. Turn around.
Yeah, right. Like my chihuahua. He could just eat for days. Never fill that belly.
I like how she's fighting back. Not fighting.
Right.
Standing her ground.
And he's playing.